Hi, I'm Sophie. I'm a designer. I currently live in London and I am 25. So at the moment I work at Headline, which is part of Hachette. So Headline is a mostly commercial publisher, so it covers pretty much everything you can think of, from non-fiction, celebrity books, romance, novels, cookery books, pretty much everything. So my job is to work with editors to come up with ideas for the book covers. So I knew I wanted to be a graphic designer quite early on. My dad's a graphic designer, so I made most of my GCSE and A-level choices with that in mind. And it meant that I got to go and do work experience as a graphic designer. So I really enjoyed the creative aspect of it, but also liked that there was a brief that you had to work to, so there was a bit of problem solving with it. Moving into publishing was kind of inspired by how much I love to read. I love books. So I went to Skelton Primary School, which I really enjoyed. It was a really nice school. They really encouraged all of the artistic stuff and encouraged me with reading as well, which was great and really helped. So a typical day in the life of a headline designer. Normally when we're not in the pandemic, I would head into the office. So our office is on the bank of the Thames near Blackfriars, which is amazing. So there's a really lovely roof terrace. They hold events there. Normally there'll be some morning meetings. So for example, on a Tuesday we have our covers meeting. So we'd take in any covers that are close to being approved and get them approved by marketing and sales and stuff. But in between meetings I'll mostly be working on current covers, so I'll normally have quite a few on the go at any one time, but how fast they get completed is relying on what they're needed for. They might be needed to do a presentation to bookshops, or they might be needed to pitch to supermarkets. The things that we do in a day can vary from, you could be in a brainstorming meeting for a tricky cover. Sometimes we have talks at our work, which is really nice. So you get to hear people talk on lots of different subjects. The skills and qualities I'd say you'd need to do this job are good use of Adobe Creative Cloud programs. So InDesign, Illustrator and Photoshop are the main programs that I use. They're vital to everyday working. It's good to be really creative and being able to problem solve different tricky things. I'd also say it's really important to be a bit of a people person, so be able to chat people through different ideas for covers, but also actually know what people want. So my career path was, I went to university when I was 19, so I went to Leeds University and I did the Graphic and Communication Design BA course. After I left university I did a variety of internships, mostly at design agencies, and it was good kind of learning a bit more about working in an office. And then after my internships I got a position at a personal care company called Stevenson, which was great. It was a really lovely place to work and I was the only designer, and I really enjoyed it there, but wanted to be in a company where I had more senior designers to learn from. So after that, that's when I moved to Headline. So I moved from Leeds to London. I'd say the best part of my job is being able to walk into a bookshop and see your books, which is really weird. So the first time that happened, I went into a Waterstones and found my book, and it was a really surreal experience. Quite stressful because you're looking at your book thinking, oh, is everyone going to pick it up and stuff? But that's really, really cool. It's also really fun seeing authors you love walking around the office. That's quite entertaining. Other jobs that I've had, before I went to university, I did a whole variety of different jobs. So I worked in a ladies' skincare, homeware, clothing shop. I worked at a riding stables. I worked at lots of different cafes, pubs, shops, all sorts of places. I also did volunteering at an animal rescue. But all of those different jobs, even though at the time they were just kind of weekend jobs, they really did help me when I was getting my actual job, because it felt like I knew how to talk to people, knew how to behave in a professional setting. There's lots of designers that inspire me. David Pearson, John Gray, Susanna Dean, Michaela Alicano, and they're all really nice and will chat to you, which is lovely. Our work encourages us to go into bookshops regularly, see what's at the front of the shelves. So the advice I'd give my 10-year-old self is be creative in whatever you do, and don't necessarily limit yourself to one discipline. I feel like being creative is important in everything, and it all can feed into different areas or different jobs. And keep drawing no matter how good you think it is. I feel like being able to just sketch things out and draw things, even if it looks terrible, is really important in my job, and the more you draw, the better you get.